And now, on loan from the National Older Adult Conference, a segment of AC News.
AC News starts.
Uh-oh, something's wrong with the AC News. Wonder if I can connect with the boys by Zoom.
Oh, hey, look, it's the NOAC News team, after all. Hi, guys. How you doing? Larry, Chris, how's it going?
It's good to see both of you. I'm just sorry, guys.
You do not need your mask. This is a Zoom call, remember? You don't need your mask.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow. Whew, that's much more comfortable.
Oh, that's a lot better. Thank you. Hey, guys.
Well, I'm here to tell you that there's going to be no AC News this year. I mean, there isn't going to be no AC News. I mean, there is no AC News this year.
No, Dave, that can't be. This is 2020. Remember, we had NOAC in 2019. Last year, it's every 2 years. It's not scheduled again until next year.
Right, Dave. Remember, that was 2019. We had some of the NOAC participants play whack-a-mole as one of the top 10 things you can do while standing in line. Remember that?
And we did NOAC briefs, asking people to answer a question in 5 words or less.
Right. And that didn't happen.
But that's not what I'm saying. There will be no AC this year. See, remember when we did those segments for annual conference, we called them AC News for annual conference news. Well, there will be no AC News this year because there's no AC. There's no annual conference this year.
What? Dave, you can't do that. You might have some fancy position like moderator-elect, but you can't go around canceling annual conference. That's never been done before.
Well, you've heard of COVID-19, I assume, the pandemic?
Well, I think so. It's kind of been on the news lately.
Well, the standing committee got together and decided to postpone everything that was going to happen in Grand Rapids and move it to next year's annual conference gathering in Greensboro, North Carolina, because a large gathering just is not safe this year.
You know, guys, I just can't believe this is happening. I mean, we've never canceled annual conference before, have we?
Good question. I wonder who would be able to tell us. I know. Hey, look, Larry, it's Alexander Mack. Good to see you, eh, Mack?
Guten Tag, Chris and Larry, and greetings from Schwarzenau.
Hey, Mac, they're talking about canceling the annual meeting this year. Do you know if that's ever happened before?
Well, I don't recall that ever happening.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about that time the Eder River flooded and they ended up baptizing people who didn't really want to be baptized?
Oh, my. That doesn't sound possible.
Or when they ran out of strudel in Germantown and they couldn't feed all the people who came for the big meeting.
Well, actually, I didn't hear of that either. You know, they only started official recorded meetings of the Brethren in the 1780s. And I don't recall any strudel shortages during that time. So no, the big meeting has never been canceled before. But then again, Brother Chris and Larry, this is a very, very serious health crisis, and there's good reason to postpone all the activities of annual conference until next year in Greensboro. Well, it's been so good to visit with you. Stay safe now and faithful, and count well the cost of, what is your phrase, being socially distant people, or something like that, at least for a while. Auf Wiedersehen.
So, Dave, no family-like gathering with wonderful worship and music?
And no ice cream socials?
No great preaching with so much inspiration?
And no ice cream socials?
And no business sessions, no inside sessions, no news from around the church.
I'm afraid all that... What?
Where are we going to get our ice cream fix?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm afraid all that will have to wait for another year.
And no AC News?
Well, right. No AC News. I mean, no AC News. NOAC news will be in 2021. But fear not, as the angels say. Right. As I was saying, fear not. Instead of annual conference, the Program and Arrangements Committee has put together 2 days of online programs, denominational worship times, to help you get through this annual conference-less year. A time for children, an hour-long worship gathering, and a musical program featuring brethren from around the country and around the world.
Sure, we'll be asked to sing a number.
Oh, yeah, we'll be ready. Chris, you ready?
Hark the herald angels sing.
Well,
glory
actually,
to-
the lineup has already been chosen. Well-known brethren musicians have been chosen, and Ken Meadham has written a song for the event. It'll be a variety of musical styles and instruments, and the premiere of a virtual congregational hymn that people participated in from around the church.
But NOAC news.
No, you heard him. No NOAC news. I mean, yes, there will be no NOAC news, but no NOAC news and no NOAC news.
Right. It'll be NOAC news.
No, it'll be no NOAC news.
That's what I said.
No, you said NOAC news.
No, I didn't, Chris. I said NOAC news.
Guys, I think actually you're both right, which is a pretty scary thought. But I'm just so glad I don't need to moderate these guys, at least for another year.
You've been subjected to a special edition of NOAC News, authorized and tolerated and sanitized for your protection by the Program and Arrangements Committee. Your mileage may vary. Objects in Zoom calls are closer than they appear. Certain restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. This news is not intended to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. These comments have not been evaluated by the FDA or the CDC or the WHO. But as always, please watch responsibly.